Hello everyone, and welcome to day number 36 of your daily Chofetz Chaim. Today we conclude the second chapter of the laws of Lashon Hara. Chofetz Chaim says in halacha number 12, there's another thing that I want to discuss, and that is that there are unfortunately many people who, when they hear a drasha from the rabbi or from someone else, and they have a tendency to belittle everything that was said and to make light of it and to say that what he's saying was wrong and there's nothing to listen to. And this is 100% Lashon Hara. Unfortunately, today this is something that there are many people who are not careful about this. They don't even consider it to be anything wrong, because in their minds what they're saying is true. But as we know, Lashon Hara is absolutely applicable even to that which is true. And unfortunately, this can cause a tremendous loss to the speaker, the rabbi, whoever it may be it financial or be it emotional pain or embarrassment. Whatever it is, it certainly will not be anything good that will come from belittling his speech. And on the contrary, the Chofetz Chaim says if this person who doesn't agree with what was said really wants to do what's right, then he should approach this person afterwards in private and explain to him, say, maybe you should have said things a little bit differently. If you would have said it like this, perhaps people would have listened better. People would have appreciated it if you would have said it that way instead of this way. And by doing this, you would have also fulfilled the mitzvah of V'ahavta l'reacha kamecha, of loving your fellow as yourself, in addition to avoiding the Lashon Hara. And certainly a person should not, in any way, regardless, belittle that which was said, and the fact that it was said in front of three people is certainly not going to be a leniency here. And the Chofetz Chaim at this point goes on a very lengthy discussion to talk about the nature of such people who belittle the things that the rabbis or others say. And he has some very, very severe words about those people, saying how they just listen to be able to disagree, and they hear what they want to hear. They understand things the way they want to understand them. They go and incite others to get involved in a very long discussion here about how terrible people like that can be. And also the Chofetz Chaim notes that if there is any degree of apikorsis, heresy, involved in what he's saying, then that's a whole different story, and that can certainly be discussed. But otherwise, assuming that it's all not in that category, even if it's wrong, a person should not belittle it in any way. And in halacha number 13, the Chofetz Chaim continues and says that if somebody tells others, and three people, he tells them something about his business or something like that, and it's the kind of thing that you would assume that he wouldn't want to become public. However, he didn't say anything about it, so the fact that he said it in front of three people is enough reason for us to believe that he would be okay with it being spread. And therefore it would be permitted to then go and be spread, assuming that you have the conditions of apitlasa, of being said in front of three people that we have already mentioned. Until this point, it would be allowed to be spread under these circumstances, as long as the speaker did not say that he doesn't want this information shared at all. Now, the Chofetz Chaim in the Be'er Mayim Chaim does note that in regards to the question of if you need to not be saying this for the purpose of spreading it, but you can simply say it just if it comes up in a conversation, whether you need that element or not, he says it actually depends. He says if it's a financial question, then you would be allowed to spread it even for the purpose of spreading. However, if it's a question of something that could be embarrassing, for example, if someone shared an embarrassing story about themselves in front of three people, then those three people would not be allowed to go and reshare it for the purpose of spreading. But again, if it would come up in conversation, then it would follow all the other rules of apitlasa being said in front of three people that we have mentioned until now. And with this, we conclude the second chapter of the laws of Lashon Hara.